Hey, shalom, everybody. Look, I just want to give this quick testimonial regarding the love of Yahuwah and his favor upon us. So there's this particular laundromat that I go to that's nearby, and I usually just take a duffel bag with my dirty clothes, usually my gym stuff, because that's the stuff that smells the most and gets dirtied the most in terms of each week. I have to wash the gym clothes. And so the laundry attendant that's there, he's a brothers from Mexico, really cool, really cool. We laugh a lot. He speaks some English, I speak some Spanish. We put it together, we understand one another, right? So the other day I'm in there doing laundry, and by the way, I want to thank my sister Aquila YAHUAH. My sister told me, she's like, use more of the Spanish tongue. She's like, that's gonna help draw people. And I knew she was right when she said it. That was just confirmation from what YAHUAH has given me over the years. But anyway, I go in there and I'm doing my laundry. And so the manager, who's a female, comes in, and she and my brother, who's the attendant at the laundromat, they're talking. And all of a sudden, as I'm folding my laundry, which has now come out of the dryer, I look at the manager, because I know her too, I've met her once before, and I said, yo, tengo una pregunta. ¿Por qué no comida aquí? And she's like, that's a good question. I was like, necesito comida. I was like, tamales, frijoles, arroz, algo, And so they all started laughing, and we were just laughing about that. And so then my buddy was like, hey, I've got this woman on speed dial, he's saying this in Spanish, who fixes food, like in the neighborhood. A lot of people get their hustle on, whether they're Mexican, Salvadorian, even African, whatever. They fix different dishes, and you can call them up and say, I'm at the laundromat, I'm at the corner store over here, whatever, and they'll bring the food to you, or you can go pick it up. And it's home-cooked, good food, right? And so anyway, this woman had food that day, and she had something I was actually interested in, but I didn't have my cash on me at that point. And so I was like, I have to wait a few hours because I don't have any cash on me. He's like, okay, no problem. So anyway, I finished up doing my laundry. I'm folding, and all of a sudden, my buddy and the manager, they've got these plates that they walk in the door with, these 3 big carry-out plates. I was like, oh, you guys ordered food. And so they just like, yeah. So then they come over to me, and they open up these plates, and they're like, here, get as much as you want. And I was like, what? The problem was, it was all seafood, camarones, and so forth. And I was like, I can't have seafood. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, but thank you. This looks so good. And it smelled good too, y'all. Back in my day when I would have eaten seafood, I would have maxed out on that, right? They were like, oh, that's too bad you don't eat seafood. I said, but that smells so good, He's like, no problem. He and the manager literally put $15 in my hands and said, hey, go over to the Japanese place and get you some lunch, because they know I like rice. Well, they didn't know it, but I do. They were like, get lunch. And I said, you don't have to do that. The manager was like, no, I want to. You're nice. You always come in here proper. This is on me. Bottom line, y'all, they saw Yahuwah in me. And I know that, because when I come in there respectful, the way I was raised. I come in there joking around. I'm also using the language that I know they're familiar with. And I also had cracked this joke. I made them laugh. I said, when I'm hungry, I know Spanish very well, and so they were laughing. But they didn't have to do that. They literally gave me $15 and said, lunch is on us. When Yahuwah wants to favor you, he will do it however he wants to do it, through whomever he wants to do it. So, y'all, all I'm going to say is, don't deny Yahuwah's hand of Berakah, of blessing on your life, and treat everybody the way you desire to be treated, because you never know whom Yahuwah will use to put a Berakah in your life. Shalom.